Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Cooks Cleaning Off Their Calendars for Calisthenics and Cold Ones while Coors Light kills kitties while chilling their cans of craft beer. Uncle Gary started solidifying salami sauce to simmer his salmon episode of the Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm.
This new setup, dude.
You like it?
It's fucking tits.
Yeah.
It's fucking tits.
Definitely a different dynamic.
Love this, dude. This is so much more comfortable. And then also, like, whenever here in just like 18 seconds when you introduce the guest, it has such a good flow to it that, like, I feel like everyone's going to feel included.
Yeah. And
So-
shout out to Drew, for producing.
Helping us out today, you know, and maybe forever, or maybe until one of us dies, or until he dies, or whatever, you know. That's cool, dude.
Right.
That's really neat. So do me a favor. I'm going to drink some bourbon. Hit him with that intro.
Joining us this week in the Days Grimm shoebox is Jeremiah Galey. How are you?
What's going on?
What's up, dude?
What's up?
You are the man, the myth, the legend.
The cook,
Something
the
like
chef,
The chef, the musician, the tallest dude in most rooms, you know? You're pretty fucking tall.
6'1", man.
I'm like 5'6", so everybody to me is a fucking giant.
Yeah, you're just a little short.
I'm just a short boy, man. So in the beginning of the show, what we like to do is kind of also like intro you to the guest, and then like, but there's no one else in this room that can do it better than you. So in like 60-ish seconds, you know, like, who is Jeremiah Galey?
Shit.
You know, just easy breezy, nothing big.
Grew up in Wadesville, went to North Posey High School. I'm a musician, big fan of all things music, playing, writing, recording, mixing, mastering, and also chef, line cook, manager, whatever you want to call it.
A fucking boss.
I run Amy's on Franklin Street.
There you go.
Yeah, dipping my toes into just about anything that I'm interested in while I got time, you know.
What do you think about underwater basket weaving?
Underwater basket weaving?
Are you familiar?
Sweat.
Yeah, it's wet, dude.
Yeah.
That's where Daddy likes to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a little wet for me, you know.
You're not an aquatics fan?
Not for that length of time.
Yeah,
I like to
'cause-
get in and get out.
Yeah, you just dip in and dip out.
Yeah.
We were going to do a triathlon before it got canceled, Thomas and I, and we made this bet that I was going to fucking smoke his ass in the race. We trained for like a year and 2 months, year and 3 months, like a long fucking time. And the
All
race,
basket weaving?
mostly underwater basket weaving.
Yeah.
They say that's really good for triathlon training.
breath work.
Yeah, breath work, dude, and digit work. But anyways, so yeah, they wound up canceling it the Thursday before the race. The race was on a Sunday, so literally like 3 days from the fucking
So you
race.
never know? Did you guys go run around the block?
Dude, he would get fucking smoked.
Yeah, Brian would definitely beat me in the running. Now, the biking, different story.
If I was a car, I'd be like a 98 Corvette, hot yellow.
A 98 Corvette?
Think Donald Trump, but in a car.
Okay.
And then this guy right here, Ford Pinto, 64.
I don't know about that.
I don't even
Probably
know if
like a DeLorean.
Also slow. A little sexier, but also slow. How's the Terramana? He said that you were a fan.
I am.
You are?
Yeah.
A fan of The Rock or a fan of both? What do you
Both.
think? Both?
Yeah.
He's fucking sick, dude. He's jacked. He's
Really
huge.
am.
He would make
Super hot.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, he's not on my top 10, but he's
I don't
pushing
know,
it.
dude. He put Terramana out. He's squeezing the top 10.
Dude, you
Especially
think so?
under the influence of Terramana.
Dude, if you put me and the Dwayne the Rock Johnson in a room with a bottle of Terramana, I'll probably fuck him. Yeah, I don't know. Or
he'd
he's
probably
fucking
fuck
me.
you.
He's probably fucking me. So, anyways, have you seen any of the episodes before? Have you had a chance to like listen or
Some.
watch or
Not
anything?
Just skimmed.
Skimmed. Okay,
Yeah.
so roughly in the first like 10 minutes, we like to get to this little treat called the Death of the Week.
Right.
So this is just a unfortunate way or funny way that some poor soul has no longer has ceased to exist on Earth. Without further ado, pull me up this here death of the week. So, aspiring chef dies hours before making ultra hot sauce for chili eating contest. An aspiring cook who challenged his friend to a chili eating contest died just hours later. 33 had used a bag of homegrown red chilies to make a super hot sauce. The forklift truck driver, who had recently passed a medical at work, I like how they have to clarify that. Like, dude's not on drugs. Dared his girlfriend's brother to eat a spoonful of the sauce and then ate a plateful himself. Shortly thereafter, he had a heart attack and died. Go ahead and scroll down just a little bit more, sir. Mr. took a jar of the sauce to his girlfriend's house last weekend where he challenged her brother, his family said. His sister, age 29, explained, quote, they had a contest who could make the hottest chili sauce. Quote, had used chilies to make Thai dishes before, but had never made anything this hot. Quote, my dad grew the chilies especially for the contest was planned and he gave them to him. Just ate it with a plate of dolmio. It was not a proper meal because he had already eaten lamb chops and mash after coming home from work. I don't know if ate the chili sauce as well. Fuck, I hope not. Jesus fucking Murphy.
It reminds me of this chicken sandwich that you were just posting videos of. You grew the peppers for that, didn't you?
Yeah, Dragon's Breath. Yeah.
Fuck me, that sounds like a good time. What's the base? What's the pepper base?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the primary pepper you're crushing here? What are we talking?
So there's like 7 or 8 levels, and it starts out it's for hot chicken. Starts out at the bottom. It's no extra peppers at all, just Southern style, whatever.
Yeah.
And then after that, the first level, it just gets a dusting of, it's a seasoning mix, but the heat comes from cayenne.
Okay, I like a cayenne. Cayenne's a solid fucking pepper.
It's spicy, but it's very mild in terms of hot chicken. And then after that, every one of them gets a dredge and some hot chili oil, and then the seasoning on top. And from there, it goes progressively hotter and hotter. So it starts with the cayenne, and then it goes, I can't remember the order now. It goes cayenne.
Well, you don't want to give away the whole secret recipe.
Oh, I don't give a shit. It's not a secret.
Dude.
It's listed. Cayenne, doing ghost peppers, Trinidad scorpions, Carolina Reaper.
Ooh, some reap.
Dragon's Breath. Basically anything I can get my hands on.
And you grew them all?
No, for this last one, I just grew the Dragon's Breath just because you can only buy the seeds. You can't buy like Dragon's Breath peppers. It's not.
And they love that.
It's not official
soil.
Wait, hold on. Is the Dragon Breath? I'm assuming this is a GMO, but Dragon Breath is a pepper.
Mm-hmm.
And where's that being made? Like in a fucking lab somewhere?
No idea. You can buy them anywhere.
What?
Like seeds online.
Fun fact though. So do you grow your own peppers?
Just the Dragon's Breath currently.
Just the Dragon's. Okay. So fun fact. Actually, Thomas, who has a green thumb over here, taught me this. The acidity in coffee grounds will help grow more capsaicin, or they'll help your peppers flourish.
Well, that's the nitrogen from the coffee.
It's not the
If you
pH.
grow peppers, you want to do like pine needles and stuff that breaks down at a more acidic level.
Okay, I'm sorry. So no coffee grounds?
Basically, you want to treat your pepper plants like shit. You want to let them get real dry, like the soil, and then you want to throw like acidic stuff in the dirt, and it increases the spice.
Coffee is one of them, correct?
Coffee is for nitrogen. You mix it in all your dirt.
Oh, okay. I was mistaken. But you're saying pine needles will help your peppers grow hotter.
Pine needles
Did you know
are
this?
extremely acidic.
Not about pine needles, no.
Yeah. I knew the coffee grounds, but I thought it was specifically for peppers.
I'm just getting into it. I know like the basics, like the nitrogen and, and
Did you have good
switch
success
the
last year?
potassium and the phosphorus.
Growing or whatever?
Yeah, I only grew 3 last year just to see what was up, and then I saved all the seeds before I dehydrated them. I don't know if you ever grown a really hot pepper straight from a seed. It sucks ass.
Just jalapenos. Just jalapenos.
They don't like to germinate, and sometimes they take like 12, 13 weeks to germinate.
Just to even pop out of the soil.
So I think I germinated over the course of like 4 weeks. I germinated and planted 64 starters. And of that, I'm about to plant them outside now. The seedlings, I only have 16 that
Wow.
actually made it into seedlings. Plus, I didn't think I was going to get it done in time, so I ended up buying 9 seedlings online.
Oh, like with the weather, you mean?
Well, no, I didn't. I thought it was going to take way longer. I didn't know it was going to take. Hot peppers take so long to germinate.
Yep.
And then as I was germinating and I'm waiting for them, where the fuck are my tap roots at? I don't know what's going on. I'm fucked. I need them for later this year. So I kind of, had a little freak out moment for a second.
And their soil has to be so
bought
much
9
hotter.
seedlings online. So now I have those 9 seedlings plus the 16 that popped up. So I got 25 going into the year.
Now, if I may, we're gonna get. We like to do a timeline style, but before we bust into that timeline, real quick, Thomas, I do want to know: is there a benefit to chefery or I don't know, like a professional, like very cooking?
The benefit is you don't like to eat out.
No, I'm saying, is there a benefit?
That's not true.
Is there a benefit to growing your own versus
fuck yeah,
store bought?
Fuck yeah.
But are the seeds not coming from like Monsanto and the same fucking people that are spoiling everything else?
Well, that's not exactly, I think, the issue with the way things are grown, in my opinion, because there can be any seed you get was at one point or another like engineered, right? Like anything that's, if you go look up like natural fruit or whatever from like 100 or 200 years ago, and it's fucking bizarre.
Bananas
dude.
are completely
None of them
full of
look
seeds.
like how they look
Genetically.
now.
Yeah,
so they're all
genetically.
genetically modified.
Yeah.
So to me, the issue is not exactly what that seed has been through, but like how it's grown and what's pumped into the soil and what's watered it and all this extra, like stem cells. They put stem cells in
I
there,
can only
think. I don't
imagine,
know.
like you said, it's like what this seed has been through, and all I can imagine is like he doesn't know his dad, and like like he's had a rough upbringing. He's on the streets, like
he's on the streets, dude.
Some of these seeds have
trying to
really
hold it together.
Some of these seeds have really been through it. So just
But like you mentioned, though, like these fruits that have changed, like bananas back in the day, if you open a banana up, it was normally all seeds on
Like
the
seed
inside.
pod, yeah.
they do say that like somewhere in like 90 some odd percentile of all
Well, we're
food
ruining-
plants are GMO.
We're ruining the
Right.
genetics of a lot of plants, like just like
Yeah.
cannabis, and like you don't want seeds, so like you keep your male plants way away, and then
Right.
like that ruins the genetic line.
It's
and-
also a slippery slope because you're talking about genetically modified stuff, and some of it's not exactly genetically modified as more, some of it's just controlled growth, you know what I mean? And not exactly like fucking with like the DNA structure of the actual
I
plant
get you.
or
I
whatever
get you.
else, you know what I mean?
But like you mentioned the soil stuff too, like like my garden's completely organic, and
Right.
so like insecticides, like you can't use 90% of insecticides because
Sure.
they kill your microbiome.
Can you use like ammonia anhydrous or like nitrogen or stuff like that?
I haven't looked into it.
Do you aerate?
To be organic? No way, dude.
Oh, you can't to be organic?
No.
So you go
Organic
without
is like it has to be
well,
like
nitrogen-
from the earth only.
nitrogen comes from the atmosphere.
Well, yeah, but you brew compost.
Is it too far
teas.
away?
I don't
Does it
think the earth made that anhydrous, bro.
I was thinking of the nitrogen, but yeah, you get it.
If you do it organically, you're brewing a lot of tea. So you're using like worm castings.
Ooh, I like tea.
Not this kind of tea. You're doing like worm castings, molasses, and like a fish tank bubbler.
You
To
going in?
answer your question though, yeah, I think
It makes a difference cooking.
get it at the source as much as possible, because not only is it going to taste better inherently, but you actively know exactly what's in it at all times. You like, in my opinion,
From birth.
cooking anything at home nutritionally is going to be better than almost anywhere you go out to eat, especially in this area. And I'm not trying to talk shit about the products that people use in this area, but I know what they are for the most part.
A lot of fructose,
A lot of
corn
processed
syrup.
shit. You know what I mean? It's just the nature of the restaurant business locally.
Yeah.
And I don't mean everybody, but it's a volume game, which means that you're using
cheaper.
not the best quality stuff.
Yeah, it's
like
cheaper.
it's cheaper to manufacture. It is what it is. So you're inherently going to be much better off cooking at home, regardless of.
So you
What
so
it
you
is.
grew up in Wadesville.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what's that like? What's Wadesville like other than like shitty football?
And driving around country
shitty football
roads.
is a good
Shitty football.
one. Yeah,
well, I
shitty
grew up
football.
in Posey County.
Hey,
So
we made it to state when I was in high school. Though.
Did you for real?
Yeah, we got pretty close.
Did you play sports in high school?
We lost. I played sports all the way up until high school. Was really into football and baseball. I played basketball too. Was really awkward at basketball, but I enjoyed it. But then it got to around the junior high timeline. It got to like everything was a lot more political. Like you only played if you knew people, your parents knew people, they were participating on this shit.
Fucking small
That
town
really
shit.
wasn't what we were doing, and that was about the same time that I really got into music and wanted to really spend time doing that anyway. So I kind of fell out of playing sports and started playing music.
So
instead.
what's your first musical instrument that you pick up in this time frame?
Bass.
Bass. Slapping the bass.
Slap of the bass.
Slapping the
And
bass.
it was bass guitar, not
Right.
upright.
Bass guitar.
He's
yeah,
on
I
this
bought
cello
it. I bought it, and we were like a Blink-182 kind of fan
Fast.
at first.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little.
So it was you and like a
Pop-punk
few
type of
buddies
thing.
making songs, playing music?
Yeah. Playing a couple talent shows, just playing like cover songs, like pop punk song. Then we got into doing our own stuff, and it was much along the same vein.
Still in high school?
Oh
doing
yeah,
your
early
own-
high school. Yeah.
Did you ever burn some CDs and hand them out at school?
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's
I
what's
hope
up,
if
man.
anyone has one, just burn that today.
Like
dude.
copy it, you mean?
No, like in the trash can. I would like to see it unrepairable.
Do like a fucking Viking funeral. Just put it on a boat and fucking catch it on fire, dude. What do you think about Viking funerals?
I've thought a lot about it.
Doing it yourself? You're planning on dying soon?
Yeah.
Sick. Me too.
No, I've never thought about it.
You know they're legal in Maine now. They made a Viking funeral legal that you can put a dead corpse on a fucking.
I don't care what you
raft.
do with me when I'm dead, dude. Just throw me in the trash.
Have
dude.
you seen fucking? Have you seen Midsummer, dude? There's some dark shit that you can do when you're about to die. They like jumped off a cliff. in
I'm
that
gone,
movie.
dude. Like
Yeah,
I'm
peace
dead.
out.
Just like harvest
out.
my organs, dude. Take my eyeballs.
I respect
I
that.
don't-
So
I don't
you're
give a shit.
you're an organ donor.
Yeah.
Mad respect for that. If
Dick only. I'm only donating my penis.
just my dick.
Have you seen that where they like you've got tattoos, so like when you die, they can make like a hide, like they'll cut your skin and like frame
me
your
on the
tattoos.
wall, dude.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fuck
Ed
yeah.
Gein, you fucking
That's
serial
my great
killer.
grandparent. My great grandpa's fucking
Chest piece on this
chest
lamp.
up there.
No man, that's fucking Barney
You
Fife
take it
right
to
there.
it's somebody like some terrible taxidermist or something tries to like
Right.
do some
Make a
work with it,
lampshade.
and it's like this. You're just on this bizarre piece of shit
Yeah,
forever after that.
dude. Like, no, that's not Betty White. That's Barney Fife.
That's my grandpa, dude.
Dude, so you start slapping the bass.
Yeah.
Are you playing any shows at this time?
Yeah, more just like talent shows, like Autumn Fest parade type situation, like the back of a semi trailer shit,
yeah.
stuff like that. Like here's some local boys playing 2.5 songs for you.
That's how they
that
say it in
kind of stuff.
Wadesville too. They're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, there's these boys up here, and come here and play some music for
Here's
y'all."
some local boy.
Here's some local boy. Were you a good old boy when you were growing up?
No, actually, I hated it.
You
I
hated, like,
that
the
type of
stereotype?
shit, yeah. But I find the older I get, the more in tune I am with the country side of me.
It's fucked up, dude. It's fucked up.
I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I embrace it. I'm no like killing possums with a baseball bat or something.
I've been there.
On my day off.
I am,
I don't do
unfortunately.
that type of shit.
Not now,
country,
but, like,
you know what I mean?
in my
Like that's
youth.
not my idea of fun. But
I mean, they're hideous.
at the same
dude.
time, it's like there's a lot of aspects of like I don't know. I want to say the country lifestyle because it's not that far removed. It's fucking 20 minutes from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
But
Yeah.
the cops that are stationed
it's a lot
there are,
different.
like,
It's a
one
lot
in
different
town.
than growing up in the city, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Dude, it's different from like what blows my mind is while you're helping yourself there, dude. What blows my mind is like,
This is my 8th glass of tequila.
dude, fucking call it. Let's make it 10, man. Let's make it 10.
I'm sponsored by Dwayne Johnson.
They were alone in a room with a bottle of Terramana one time. No, but
Came out with that contract.
what blows my mind is that like how much different not just the country is from the city, but how much different. Like I hear stories from like good old boys in Posey County, and they tell me stories about like because they're in their 60s about how it was back then. Oh my God, the shit you could get away with. You could fucking murder somebody, and if you knew the sheriff, he'd be like, I ain't nothing but some
Well, I
dust under the
believe it,
rug.
dude. I mean, just thinking about when I was in high school. I'm 34, so when I was in high school, dude, we were getting away with all kinds of shit.
Did you
now
gradu-
that you would be on the front page of the fucking paper for your whole life would be canceled now.
Oh, yeah. You graduated in 07?
Yeah.
07? I was 08, so I'm like right there with you, dude. 33.
Yeah.
Do you feel fucking terrible when you wake up every day?
No.
Or is that just me?
That's just you, dude.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Drink too much.
So
Too much bourbon.
what'd you get into after high school?
What happens,
I
man?
went to Vincennes for audio recording
The Dirty V.
for 3.5 months.
You know somebody that got syphilis up there, don't you?
I mean, like
That's why
half
I
of
left.
Vincennes has syphilis.
I heard that there was a syphilis outbreak, and I had to get out of there.
The Sif is fucking slinking up there, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking slinking
That's
around.
what Vincennes is known for now.
Dude, honestly, like Vincennes is legit because they bring before TMMI, they didn't have dick. But I think VU came before TMMI. And then when that came in town, when VU popped up in that bitch, dude, game changer.
VU's pretty good, man. It
It's
wasn't
not bad.
It was. I just wasn't learning what I wanted to learn. I was learning I was actually learning how to play piano. An intro to piano or theory or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that's tight though. That's
but I was going for audio recording and that kind of thing, and I just wasn't learning shit. And, I went to high school. My mom made me take all honors courses or whatever.
So you weren't stupid.
Then I had to take an English class at Vincennes, and oh man, it was like my first class in the morning at 8 a.m. and it was just rough, dude. And I think I ended up correcting my teacher at one point over sentence diagrams, like fucking gerunds or something like that.
So hold on,
and I never went back.
Your
after
teacher was okay. Let's not say a name, but was your teacher stupid?
Dude, I don't know, man. That was 2007.
They probably grew up in Vincennes. Whatever.
So what did you do after Vincennes?
I kept doing the whole music thing, and I, like I said, I was really into the engineering side of it. I love that aspect of it, and I still do all that stuff. I spend way too much money, probably. I'm sure my wife would tell you, doing that. But I kept doing that on my own time, and the internet was out there at that point, so it was just reading every bit of information I could get my hands on about how my favorite songs were produced and who did them and how they did them and what was the mindset and all
Were
that
you
shit.
looking into producers like
Well, that's what I wanted to do at the time. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make money doing this around here, but that's what I'm going to go to school for.
Like who cut this Chili Peppers song? And you look
like
that dude up.
like producers for exact songs and how they got sounds to sound this way. And, and what was the magic
It's
behind
neat,
this?
man.
What was the shape of the fucking room? And how many dampeners did they had in there? And how big were they? And who built them? And
Actually,
I got pretty granular about it.
I actually had a audio engineer come in here before we started this podcast, and I asked him, I was like, how much is this going to run me to make it not sound like shit in here? Because I know nothing about audio at
It
all.
doesn't sound bad for this.
Right, but I didn't know that. I thought the angles were bad.
No, those
and
are
then
good.
he comes in, he was like, yeah, man, because basically what's going to happen is, because we're recording in an attic, basically. This is an attic converted into a living space. And these angles of the walls actually take the audio, hit, and then they either hit the ceiling or they come right back down. So technically, in audio engineering wise, it's actually a pretty brilliant
It's not
room.
bad.
So
Usually square rooms are the worst.
Yeah, that's what he said. But so we literally did nothing to audio proof this room, if you will. Literally nothing.
what when do you form a band right after Vincennes?
Well, I was
'Cause I'm sure you're
still
playing
jamming
around.
with the same guys from high school, and we were still doing a thing. I was coming back on the weekends anyway, and working and stuff. And by that point, when I was 17, 16 or 17, I got a job doing dishes in New Harmony, the Red Geranium. That's kind of the beginning of my culinary.
Did you join the New
career.
Harmony cult?
That's a sweet spot,
No,
too.
but it was awesome living there, though. I tell you what, though, that was some wild times in my life. It'll never happen again out there, but just the way the business was set up and everything, and the town and everything, I experienced some of the most wild shit that you would probably
What are we talking?
not even believe.
Topless women on quads? What are we talking here?
Oh man, there's just so many stories, dude. It was just
Do you have
it was like a portal to a different universe that should not
ever be revisited?
we should not have been exposed to.
Yikes, dude. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah,
it reminds
honestly.
me of that guy we had on that grew up in Amish territory, and he was talking about how the Amish.
Oh,
partied
the
hard.
infantry guy?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
that's what I imagine New Harmony.
It was awesome. I mean, if you get past the whole, you're not doing shit after 9 o'clock with anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. As long as you didn't bother anybody, nobody gave a shit.
That's awesome.
I'd brown bottle a fucking tall boy or a bottle of wine and, walk my dog around
Nobody gave a fuck.
at
Fuck it.
11:30 at night. As long as you're not fucking with anybody, nobody
That's awesome.
Nobody gave a shit.
Sheriff comes by, shakes your hand.
No, it was the town marshal.
Yeah, see you at church tomorrow, bud.
And I knew him, so I, knew when to stash.
Dude, that's so fucking. So New Harmony is like he was saying, is like it's an Amish hotbed.
New Harmony?
Yeah.
No, it's not an Amish.
No, it was a
It's just
utopia.
Yeah,
It's not
it's
an
like
Amish
its
hotbed?
own
Not Amish.
area. It's more like
It was founded to be its own thing. Like, it's pretty communist,
like
actually,
Waco.
the history of it. But
That's
it's
kinda
not
hot.
what it is now.
I'm into that,
obviously,
man.
Yeah.
Honestly,
And now
like-
it's this bizarre mixture of like, it's like this progressive art scene out there, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
all the locals are like conservative to extreme conservative. So
Yeah.
it's like this bizarre mixture, and like it's almost embattled in a lot of ways when things are like getting put on and stuff like that. This is super like eclectic group of people that live there,
Right.
but it's
New-
badass place though.
New Harmony Civil War coming 2024.
It's kind of weird, dude. To be honest,
What do you think? What side? Okay, so hypothetically, there's a civil war in New Harmony.
Yeah.
Hypothetical situation. Clearly hypothetical. We have a situation where we get like a handful of conservatives, New Harmony conservatives, and then you get the art scene over here. Bunch of bass guitars. I don't know what they have. Paint brushes.
Pottery.
Yeah, it's pottery, paint, and soap.
Big
Music
frame glasses
and
that
all
look
that
like
stuff.
Jeffrey Dahmer glasses. A lot of that going on.
Maybe.
Which side do you think pulls out of this and takes the town?
I mean, the conservatives definitely have got more weapons. That's no question. But
Especially New Harmony, they've been prepping since like '98.
man,
but like
I'd
you said,
say
they're
that-
all
I'd say
old,
the
though.
art scene's got more backup though. They're probably calling in the
Yeah.
reinforcements.
They're getting
dude.
kids from like B Town to come down,
Yeah.
like
Crazy
kids from
shit's
like fucking
happening.
Bloomington. Fucking
So after college, you basically kind of quit the Dirty V, and you moved back to Evansville.
Yeah, when I was working
surrounding
restaurants, a few different restaurants at the time. Still playing music, working restaurants, and I never ever planned to like move up in the restaurant business. Like it was cool. It was like it's not for everyone, It's hot and it's busy and it's stressful and anxiety ridden and it's fucked up for like a lot of people, but for the right type of person, like it's like
high
fucking
stakes.
awesome. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely work. It's not like my idea of a good time. I'd rather play music a lot of times or whatever else, but at the same time for like making money and like building a career, it's just like it's hard to explain.
Do you think
like the grip it has on you? You know what I mean?
Before you do this, so like you're going through these bands, and like, I mean, you were a part of two pretty decent sized bands here in Evansville.
right? Three big bands.
We started out way back then as Always Tomorrow, and that's we're just having fun. And
Those are the ones I remember you from.
Pretty
but you,
decent,
You guys
and
played
then-
big shows though.
yeah, we did, and we did play a stop at the Warped Tour in St. Pete, Florida.
dude.
It was cool.
Don't down it. Don't fucking.
No,
down
I'm not downing it. I'm just saying it was like, we were just immature kids. It was nothing.
Yeah, you guys were like
There was nothing that was going to happen with
Like
it.
20?
You know what I'm saying?
You're like 20 at that point.
no, way younger than that. We
18?
were like 16 to 18 probably.
Wow.
Damn.
That period of time.
God, dude, it seems like a fucking life ago.
And then we started Gentlemen and Scholars around the same time, probably college era.
Same members or a few different members?
A handful, and then we went through a slew of different people. Yeah, most of the guys that we started the band with didn't stay in the band, and honestly, we went through so many different like styles of music as Gentlemen and Scholars, and so many different eras that we should have changed the band name probably like 4 times, but we didn't. So it's
one-
just like different versions of the same group.
what would you describe Gentlemen and Scholars today as?
Well, we're technically not a band anymore. We're gearing up. Same guys, but we're gearing up for something new.
Like a
Totally new
rebrand?
project?
Yeah.
Would you say when you're swapping out members, like how many other guys other than you stayed as like the core group? Or do you think
Pat did. Pat's been in it the whole time.
so?
He's
Like,
he's the only one from like Inception.
so you and Pat are like maybe the core members of this group. So from that, are you guys like like, how do you guys go about making songs? Like, are you writing them and he's writing some, or how did that work for you guys?
It just depends. Usually somebody shows up with a riff or
Melody.
something like, or a melody, and we just build upon it. Nowadays we're doing it a little bit differently. Now our drummer lives in Indianapolis and he's got a youngin'. He's like 2 now. Shane, our bass player, lives in Newburgh and he's doing his own thing.
You're not the bass player?
Pat lives. No, I play guitar now.
Oh, shit.
I just started playing bass way back then.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Pat lives in Wadesville. I live in Evansville. We're all, we all got our own lives and stuff. Our last show was Leap Day 2020. And then 2 weeks later, COVID happened and, life kind of changed. So now
that
it's
was
like
a good fucking time.
Now it's like I'm trying to prep. Everybody was still on it. Everybody still wants to do this project, but it's got to work a little differently now because of where everybody's at.
Right.
So now it's come down to I am writing whole songs or versions of whole songs, very demo quality whole songs, and kind of sending them out to everybody.
And then
when
they
we get
redo
to
their part and
when we
send it
get to
back.
like 8 or so, then we're gonna start getting together and fleshing it all out and moving.
You're familiar with Atlas of the Dogs?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know those guys. They're awesome.
Jax came on.
I never met him, but
Jax came
great
on.
music.
Jax came on, and I was like confused. He's a very beautiful man. Like he's
Vocalist?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The front man.
I've seen him,
He's
yeah.
very like just handsome all around. So like there's that aspect, but then there's like his musical technology aspect. That's like, so a lot like you were saying, you're essentially recording these whole, quote demos.
Mm-hmm.
Jax kind of did the same thing to even start Atlas of the Dogs. Like they
Right.
didn't even have solidified members yet, and he was like fucking hitting the skins and slapping the bass.
That's the way to go with modern technology if that's the boat that you're in, because you can just
email it.
Yeah, and even if you're like, hey, I'm a shitty drummer, but I program these drums in
here's
there
what I'm
real
hearing.
quick. You know what I mean? Like if you have access to that and you know how it works, it's kind of stupid not to do it like that, because you can always elaborate and change anything.
He actually did say that he used a pad though.
Yeah.
And I was like, I get that because I suck at fucking coordination.
It's a lot. If you're not a drummer
It's
and
hard to
you're
get.
doing and you're writing the vocals,
hard to get.
and you're doing multiple guitars and bass and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's a lot. It's pretty time consuming to say, hold on, let me mic this entire drum kit. If you have the space to do it, just to demo this song
And
when I
then-
could just put it on.
Oh,
So
speaking of
since
drum
it's
pad,
well, before we mention Teelan, so like you just mentioned, it's pretty time consuming,
fuck yeah,
and
it
so
is.
like you're running Amy's on Franklin, you got a family,
Yeah.
a wife and stuff, and then you got this music thing. How do you manage your time?
It's a lot.
Yeah,
But what's your key to like? All right, 2 hours of this, an hour of that, 2 hours with the wife.
Honestly,
what's your key to like?
recently,
portioning.
stop drinking so much.
That's not working tonight.
Well, this is
Joking.
not.
I'm joking. I'm joking. What are we?
This is not close to the threshold, my man.
Terramana number 9, I think. No, I'm joking.
No, man. We got to the COVID depression stage, and it was like
Amy's opened
standing
in
around
COVID,
the
correct?
table.
No.
No, we were open for a year before that.
Okay.
We opened in 2019.
Yeah, they were
Um,
flossing
So
before.
before you, are you still in culinary-esque field, or did you go to school for culinary before you approached Amy about Amy's?
I
on
didn't go
Franklin?
to school for it. Ended up working in New Harmony for the Reggeranium for like 9 years, almost 10 years. I worked my way up from dishwasher at the conference center, which does all the events and shit like that, and weddings and all that stuff, to the executive chef at the Reggeranium restaurant.
Damn, that's kind of a big deal.
Well, I mean, I'm a hard worker, but I also got lucky situationally as well.
Also, growing up in a small town, you were probably in the kitchen with your mom a lot.
No,
No, I feel like a lot.
my
of
dad cooks. My
Really?
mom
So
doesn't.
you were right next to your dad drinking Bush Light at like 6 years
No,
old.
not-
Watch your
I was
fucking
never.
mouth.
I was. Yeah, he's gender stereotyping.
you watch
over
your
here, dude. He's
fucking
gonna get
mouth,
canceled.
dude. I'm gonna come over
Oh,
there.
if I haven't gotten canceled yet, I don't know if I ever.
To be honest, I was never into cooking before I got that job.
So what even brings you into it?
Fucking.
What like no like
It honestly, it was a creative outlet, and it was like, I got to a point when
you
I was
like-
basically running the place.
yeah.
they were like, oh, they knew I was getting it done, so they didn't give a shit. They weren't watching me or whatever. Then, do your thing. And then from there, I kind of got to like, they didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Just get it done. So I was like writing my own recipes for the food I was cooking and stuff instead of like the standard, this is what it is.
Right.
Just figuring things out along the way.
What does that process look like? You go to like the Red Geranium, and they've done the same shit for like 50 years at this point.
No, that's not accurate.
I'm not insulting him, but I'm not trying to.
No, I'm saying it's the like.
Certainly, I wasn't trying to insult anybody.
That's not what I meant.
Oh.
I meant like back in the 90s, their menu would like rotate every week.
Okay, but my
And
question...
shit is like vastly different from
1 week to the next.
from like, well, I'd like to think from like I want to say a hierarchy. Like every time there's a new general manager and a new chef, like things change a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, if you come to them and you're like, "Hey, that spaghetti and meatballs, it slaps, but let's throw a little fucking chile in there," and they're like, "What does the process look like?" It was my question.
The process out there,
did you just
that
like,
didn't
hey,
really
try this?
That didn't really exist because there was too many people involved at the decision making process. So I just started doing shit.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's fucking that's outlaw chef.
I just started
right there.
doing shit until somebody said it tasted good. I said, "That's
So
what we're going with."
hold on. TV bit right now. I swear to God, outlaw chef. Outlaw chef. That's a TV bit.
Outlaw chef.
Find guys like you that have a fucking recipe to work on. Fucking hear me out.
I'm listening.
And then the owner, you just tell him to suck your fucking dick. Here's what you
like
get.
the
Now that
opposite
didn't
of-
that didn't go down like that.
No. I'm not saying you did, but I'm saying this guy's saying suck my dick, and then they feed the customers or whatever. Unbeknownst to them, they think they're getting the fucking regular spaghetti and meatballs. Joke's on you. There's a fucking, what'd you call that pepper earlier?
Dragon breath.
There's a dragon's breath in there, and then they fucking die of a heart attack like homeboy
I
did.
ain't getting fired on that one.
But then the best, hold on, I'm not done yet. Then the best outlaw chef wins $500.
So
I could get on board with
I
it.
could take. I think
I'd
this-
judge that shit.
We could put some legs on this,
I'd
dude.
do it, man.
Let's put a
So-
foot in it. All right. Anyways, I had to get that out.
Is there a time gap between Amy's and the Red Germanium?
Oh yeah. So I left there. It was like 2014 or something like that. I got linked up with this guy that wanted to open a fine dining Italian joint. He'd been to Italy a few times. He had a holdings company and some other endeavors he was doing and stuff. So, we went and we did that. It was going to be in the old Lorenzo's. It was called Bella e Dolce. We got pretty far into it. Never opened. Things happened. In like one meeting, like a bunch of stuff came out about this dude and some other people, and it
Hookers.
just kind of like
Was it
Right.
hookers?
disbanded. It was not hookers. That would have been more tolerable. I think more easily swallowable more than what happened.
We
But,
we joke on the show.
I had to move home with my mom and dad. It was fun.
We joke on the show that everything we talk about, like sex, drugs, rock and roll, is like fucking fair game. So I'm gonna say things like hookers, and he's gonna say things like, and these things not a big deal. They get beeped out until we start our Patreon. Then it's fucking the whole all the Patreon people.
I
know.
wish there was some juicy hooker story here, but it's not.
I wish you had one. Can you tell me what he got bumped for? What did he get bumped for?
No, it just turned out to be like
A shady dude.
yeah, like he's just lying about a lot of stuff.
So-
It sounds like he was actually Italian.
So I know. yeah. yeah. So I know. So Amy's is in the old PG building.
shit. Yeah,
For people
right.
that don't know.
PG fucking slapped hard, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So PG closes. They got
Yep.
this vacant building sitting there, basically on Franklin Street. And from what I have heard is you approach Amy about maybe collabing on this building.
It was a little bit. It didn't go quite as smoothly as that. So I guess PG, they didn't really want to close, but it wasn't making any money.
Right, they had no
And
choice.
The guy that owned it was selling it, and I knew all this was happening. And I was at the Hornet's Nest at the time, out there by the north of the airport, that was like just to rewind a little bit when I was doing that Italian joint. All that stuff came out before we opened. I ended up having to move back in with my mom and dad. It was like, it's not happening. Fuck. figure this shit back out and ended up moving back home with my mom and dad. I end up after a couple months, I took a job as executive chef at a corporate retirement home, and I hated it. You know, it was a valuable lesson learned though in a lot of different ways.
Some more tools in your belt.
Yeah, and it's complex in that regard. But anyway, it was nice for a year. After a year, I was like, I got to get out of here. I got to get back to what I love. You know, I got to do what I need to do. So I ended up getting a job at Hornet's Nest, which, I always thought going to all the towny bars when I was coming up in Wadesville and all those types of places, it was like, what would it, I always thought it would be so cool to take over a place like that. And I'm not calling out anybody specifically here. I'm not trying to talk shit, but a lot of those places have like a menu that's way too big and they're just pulling shit out of the freezer and dropping it in the deep fryer and that type of thing. Yeah, and it is what it is. I'm not trying to say, there's time and place for everything, right? But I always thought, it would be so cool if you could take one of these places and do a tiny menu and just do like real shit, fresh shit, and tighten it up and see what happened, just like do real food and do that. And then the Hornet's Nest came up and they weren't exactly, a place like that. Like they were doing a lot of cool shit already. And they had some volume, boy, already. But
especially, don't they do like $5 beers or $5 buckets on like Tuesdays?
They got all kinds of specials out there.
Dude, the thing about Hornet's Nest is that is the closest watering hole in like 9 miles or more.
No, there's a place down the street too.
Which one?
New Frontiers right down the street.
Oh shit! I'm
Daylight.
I've only been up there. Yeah, when you get to Daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I get up there, I only know Hornet's Nest, but I'm not from there. So
so right down the street, there's they get the bar, the Frontier down the street, and then the other way now that there's that used to be Rock a Bar. Now I think it's Prime Time now. But yeah, it's in the middle of like the biggest subdivision complex in Evansville. Like you go in subdivision, you get fucking lost.
Yeah,
like,
it's a small city.
That's how big it is. It's like. Their level of business was crazy. Right. Like crazy. So I was there for 3.5 years.
Hornet's Nest is fucking dope though.
Yeah, and I'd like to think I did a pretty good job there of taking it for what it was and elevating it.
Do you think if you had the opportunity to open your own Hornet's Nest, like the exact same replica, like if that didn't exist, but you could open your own, like you were saying, shrink it down and tighten it up, like what does that look like?
I think Amy's is a way better.
I don't want to do that.
You would never do that. You wouldn't own your own.
I've had the opportunity to since then.
You don't want to?
No.
So what was it like when you were pitching the idea to Amy or like pulling the whole project
basically
together?
After like 3 years, it was like, okay, beforehand, all I wanted to do was end up owning like a big, like a bar with like a big ass music venue. That's all I ever wanted before that. And I was actually in stages of like designing like business plans and stuff. I had like a stack of like 5-6 different business plans that were worked out to a certain extent based on certain locations and shit like that. And I ended up hearing about.
I was actually about to do the same thing, dude. I swear to God. No, you're good. Yeah.
Sorry, my positioning was off.
It's like a coffee cup. You got to talk into the coffee cup. You're good. You're good. Feel free to adjust it too, but you want to like talk straight to it. Sorry.
They call that hypercardioid.
Oh shit!
I call it a trach.
Oh my god! Oh god damn it!
I think we edit trach out.
I don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
We were talking about when you approaching Amy and you had these ideas.
Yeah. I ended up one of my distributors at the time. He's still one of my reps for one of our distributors. He's a great dude. We used to have lunch at the Hornet's Nest every Wednesday. He'd come in and we'd just shoot the shit for a minute. And he was telling me, that Amy had bought the building, the property, and was planning on doing a restaurant in there. And that the guy that she had hired to do it, to run the joint, ended up not working out with him. And I knew him, but I never met him before. So, like, I wasn't trying to
step on anyone's toes or anything.
Yo, fuck that guy. Right. That's not how I roll anyway.
But also...
No, I mean...
No, I'm joking.
I mean...
I was going to be like, but also, fuck
he had his shit. He had his shit he was dealing with and stuff. And it is what it is. We all got our plate of shit. And I'm not one to step on toes and to try to push people out of the way and shit like that. I don't.
Everybody needs.
I'm a people person.
Yeah.
I like to take care of my people. I don't like to do that kind of shit. But anyway, I heard he was out of the picture, so I sent her a message. And I'd known Amy for years because she had always put my band on. Like when we got out of the whole, after like The Wired. And The Wired was our joint, dude. The Wired was our spot.
That was the spot.
After
dude.
that, it was like 1123 was super sick. We were there a lot of times too, but it was a little bit different vibes. They were more into like the punk kind of scene there. But they'd always put us on and stuff. Casey'd always put us on, and it was cool. So we did that, and then there was Boney June's for a while, and a handful of other places popped up, like what formerly used to be the U-Turn out in Newburgh, and then the Rev, which turned into the Hatch in Evansville, and all these different places. But anyway, you get that scene kind of trickled out, and it turned into, well, what are we going to do now? So Amy was the first one to like put us on in a bar scene before we were 21.
So you already had a good rapport with her.
Yeah, she was. She was.
Amy's awesome.
Amy is awesome. She's been very supportive of me from the jump, and anything that I've tried to do with her, she's been supportive of. It all hasn't worked out, you know what I mean? But she's very much like aligned with the arts and that type of thing, So it was legal. We were over 18, so it was legal for us to play in bars, but nobody put us on.
Right.
Just because we were coming out of that pop punk, screamo, hardcore kind of scene, and that's not the music we were playing anymore. Like I said, we probably should have changed our name and shit. We didn't do that. But she was the first one to really put us on, and then it started working out. So we played her a lot, and that was kind of our home base after a while. So I knew Amy,
right?
And we weren't like best friends or anything. I didn't have her number, so I messaged her on Facebook and said, Lil Birdie told me you might be looking for a guy, and we met like 3 days later. So,
and did you already have like a menu kind of drawn together?
Yeah, actually, weirdly enough, the initial menu for Amy's on Franklin was something a concept I had written up.
And you're co-owner, by the way, right?
Not co-owner, but partial owner.
Oh, yeah, that's what I had heard.
Partial
that you were
owner. I do have a percentage, of equity. Yeah, the concept, she was explaining to me the concept that she wanted and stuff. It's her joint. And so I was trying to
accommodate to the style.
I was trying to bring her vision to life, like be creative through her eyes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I did wrote the menu kind of the best I could, and I came up with the concept of incorporating basically Midwest comfort food, but with like a twist from like the South, like the French Quarter in Mexico and Texas kind of thing.
French Quarter is awesome.
And it's kind of an eclectic thing. It's not really. If you like think about it just take it for how I said it. It's it's not really that confined, but it all works really well together.
You're doing these badass desserts. Do those rotate out?
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck happened, dude, but I'm started making seasonal cheesecakes, like a rotating cheesecake, and somewhere along the line, dude, shit just kicked off, man.
Dude, I see them on her fucking
I make fucking
story
6 to 8 cheesecakes at once.
Can you, Drew, will you bring it in just a little bit so I can see the menu just tight? There you go. Thank you very much. No, but and then, God dang, look at this fucking menu. No, but it's interesting that you bring up Boney June's. I don't want to focus too much on the music scene because you've not come out with the new project yet. I know you're working on it.
It's coming.
It's coming. Daddies and mommies, so be ready, dude. He hasn't put the fucking guitar down yet. But my question is, you brought up Boney June's, man, and that made me think of Emerosa. Did you ever see Emerosa there?
Yeah.
Holy fucking nutsack. I still jam to those guys, too.
Okay.
Dude, they go so fucking hard, and I watched that guy almost tear. We got to do a lime situation. Yeah, I'm getting a lime. I trust the culinary in your bones to make it happen. It's not the best paring knife. I'm very sorry. It's not the best paring knife. No, but I saw Emerosa play live there, dude. Yeah. And homeboy, the lead man, literally jumped on the fucking whatever the monitor was they were using and jumped off. And I think he tore his Achilles that night. Like, not a full tear, but like
a boner move.
He was fucking intense, dude.
Yeah.
They put on a hell of a show. Did you ever get a chance to meet those guys? Because they played. They played
I'm
at
not trying to
Boney.
be a dick, but possibly, dude. Like we were so involved in that scene, I can't remember.
Boney
everybody.
got big, like way bigger than I thought it would have.
Yeah, they had some. What was a big building? They had a sick system, and
Yeah, they were fucking loud.
I think that dudes were just more apt to handling a bar than the same dude on Hammerhead. So I think he was just more apt for doing that. And I don't know what happened, but they brought some big acts through, and then all of a sudden it just ended. So
and
I don't
then
know.
rest in peace to everybody that ever got shot outside of Hammerheads. Because I think there's like
the fuck.
It's a church now, dude. Don't worry.
So,
or it was. I don't know if it's still is.
think about all the blood in Christ that's on the concrete.
Spill.
Hopefully they redid the fucking bathroom in there.
Right.
Dude. That was a
Good
travesty.
Lord.
That was
worse than CBGB's bathroom.
That was
I
a
think.
that was worse than the one down on the riverfront.
So one thing we
It's
joked
worse than
about
the river itself.
Yeah.
dude, I would
Really.
rather swim in the river than swim in your
Dip my
bathroom.
dickhead into the Ohio, then go pee and fucking Hammerheads.
Dude, think about all the fucking semen in there.
Dude, I don't. Who's having sex in there, dude? I walked in that bathroom and my boner ran away, dude.
Dude, I walk in that bathroom and I get a boner.
Brian smells it. You know what I mean? He's like,
He's
there's
into
been
some
some
kinks.
sex
That's
in
it.
you
here.
you and I are not the same, dude. I'm
we
a
have
savage.
different kinks.
we joked with Amy when she was on the show about we called the big booth that you guys have at the Amy's on Franklin. We called it the mafioso booth.
Oh yeah.
Was that Amy's idea of like just a giant?
The big booth in the corner. I want to say probably. It wasn't mine.
Right.
Is this like a meatball booth? I've never
It's
been
like a
in.
big round booth all in the corner.
could
The
you
big
s-
chandelier over the top
Could you
of it. It's
see,
tight.
like possibly maybe a 375-pound Italian man having a meatball fed to him
Yeah.
in this booth?
And he says the gravy's good, Tone.
Gravy's good, Don. Dude.
But like
Shout out to
so you
Godfather.
kind of already had this menu created. What was it like? Because like the upstairs is your domain, right? Your cooking heaven. Did you get a lot of say in the layout and everything, or
The kitchen?
Yeah, were you like, I
Yeah,
want this
dude.
here?
So-
what was that like for you?
Fuck, man. So when we took it over, we redid all the kitchen. She told me to. And she's like, this is your thing. Here's your budget. It's like fucking $7,000 or something, dude.
Like, okay, hey, I got a light
So,
fixture.
I think
I got a light fixture here.
before all this, we ripped a bunch of cabinets out. So before all this, there was a 6-burner stove, a 3-compartment sink, and then the hood, which is the hood's expensive as fuck. The hood they had to crane the hood in through the window in 2 pieces.
God
it's never coming.
damn.
Whoever buys that place, it's never fucking
You're
coming
getting
out.
a hood. Heads up.
And the oven that we put upstairs, the baker's oven, it's living there, dude. It's not coming out. Anyway, I had fucking $7,500 to put this kitchen together, right?
Right.
Did you make it happen?
Bro.
Okay.
So I got 2 deep fryers. I got a low boy cooler, a reach-in cooler, a 36-inch flat top griddle to go on top of the low boy. I got the whole big-ass salad station, like 52, 56 inches, 48 inches, some shit. The extension that goes on top of it, a stand-up fucking freezer, a baker's oven, and a broiler, and I got it all for fucking $7,500.
Oh, yeah.
Dude. I busted balls, dude. I was like driving to auctions everywhere. And
So I
shit.
gotta know.
What?
Is your family?
It's that big, yeah.
Is your family? No, I'm joking. Because you made it under
Are
budget.
you asking
That's
who did
intense.
my circumcision?
I mean, we did say
That's intense. You got all that done for
It's a
$7,500.
Sick circ, dude. Who did it?
I want it. Fucking. Let me check that circ, dude. Let me see that scission,
Could you imagine if circumcision
It was,
just came with like a
it was rough.
number?
dude.
I was following auctions everywhere. It was rough.
Can I see your kitchen sometime?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of hot.
Yeah, it's if you're claustrophobic, you'll have a panic attack.
No. I'm very good in tight spaces.
Do you get to help hire like the assistants in the kitchen and everything along those? Like I know you got Drew Beasley that was working there.
Yeah, Drew's awesome.
yeah, dude.
Drew's
Drew-
awesome.
Drew's an animal.
He's great.
He's a killer.
Yeah, so I hired everybody, and
So you get
basically I'm the managing,
right. You're running the joint.
the operator. Yeah, she, Amy's the boss, so
Right. What was it like adding items to the menu? Like making adjustments? Do you have to clear those by her, or you get to? Just
I always do. She's great about that. She lets me do my thing, and You know, I'm not trying to do something like completely obscure. So as long as it's financially viable and it's not like completely out there.
What was one of your favorite parts about like being in the curation of Amy's on Franklin?
Tell you what, there was a moment. I think that, fuck, dude, the whole week leading up to like the soft opening was a fuck fest, dude. Like we got approved.
Love a good orgy.
Yeah, dude, that's kind of hot.
We got approved by the fire marshal. Like it was like Thursday night, at like 8 a.m. We had a soft opening launch the next night.
Ooh, fuck, that's stressful.
So we couldn't cook or prep anything until after that on Thursday night. So we were there until like 4 a.m. It was like 4:30 in the morning on Friday. And I set the fire alarm off. So the fire department's coming. I don't even remember how we did that. We're using all brand new equipment. Well, not all brand new, but brand new to us. You know what I mean? Like we've never done this setup before. Fire department shows up 4:30 in the morning. It's like, all right, we better go to fucking sleep, dude. So I'll go home, go to bed for 2 hours, come back at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I'm pretty sure I told Amy, dude, I'm going to fucking throw up, dude. Like, this is fucked.
Nerves? Like,
well, dude, it's a brand new menu. Nobody's fucking
and you didn't
cooked
have
anything on a fucking
prepped?
menu. Fuck training, dude. We got fucking soft opening in 8 fucking hours, man.
Figure it
What
out,
the fuck
bro.
are we going to do? You know what I mean? So it's like we just got all fucking dishes washed out of the box, you know?
if I may say, you do a very good Jeff Bridges from Lebowski.
What's prep?
That's all I
like?
could imagine
Mind if
when
I
you were
do
just
it, Jay?
Like
Fuck, man, it's fucked, man. It's a girl. She's gonna die, man.
at this point, you didn't have
The dude
anything
must have
prepped or anything like that. But like, how big is prep now for you?
Yeah, like getting ready for the next day or the next week.
Well, it's easy now. It's like clockwork, you know?
You have
We're
a
4
central
years in.
idea of the basics of what's going to be ordered, or does anybody throw you through a ringer? Like somebody orders something, and you're like, what
There's some
the fuck?
suckers. I mean, it is what it is.
There's some fucking dickheads out there, dude. There's some fucking shows.
We're not going to tell them they're dickheads, but hopefully they know that they're dickheads, and maybe they won't be a dickhead again, you know?
Yeah,
but
dude, fucking, they need to go to that fucking Hammerheads church.
What's your favorite thing on the menu when somebody orders? You're like, I like this guy.
well, the most expensive item
I like that.
is a 42-day dry-aged bone-in ribeye.
So do you dry age in store?
Yeah.
So you have like a
We do.
dehydrator.
No.
No, they
Dry aged.
basically
We
you
dry
put it
aged
the
in a
fridge.
walk-in cooler.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cool.
Humidity controlled.
I'm
yeah.
very stupid. You got to explain things to me.
Dry aged is basically when you take a whole subprimal of meat and you let it sit out in controlled airflow and humidity for however long you want. There has to be some kind of sodium content like salt to prevent bacterial growth, and also people say it helps permeate the meat. I believe it. And it grows a funk on the outside, maybe a little bit of mold. You trim it all off, you lose probably 25-30 extra percent of yield, so it's way more expensive. But it's a chemical reaction that happens. So then it's more dense meat, it loses a bunch of moisture. So you think it'd be tough, but it's not. It's actually really soft, but it's just more dense, so it kind of tricks you a little bit. But what happens is the flavor in each bite is a lot more concentrated. So around 32 to 35 days, you get like an extra beefy flavor. If you go to like 42 days like we do, it starts getting, you get a little funky with it. If you go to like 50 to 60, you start getting like nutty notes, almost like blue cheese, aged Parmesan type thing going on. And if you go past like 70 days, dude, I don't want to eat that shit. Like, people are into it. People eat like 120-day shits.
But you guys are doing 42.
42.
And you don't serve A1 at all. That's like a slap in the face, right?
What do you mean?
If somebody asks you for A1 for
Sauce.
these cuts of meat.
No, we make steak sauce.
You make your own?
You're very upset about that
We
immediately
make steak sauce.
for the layman out there.
He said for the suckers out there.
No,
For
you
that
know,
guy in
I
the
get
fucking
it.
booth with the meatball.
It's not, I had a hard time with it for a while, you know. I'd get pissed off for a while if somebody ordered well done something, you know. But it's not just about like what people like; it's how they were raised, and it's nostalgia, and it's just what they're used to. And I don't get fucking mad about it, dude. I just make them their fucking steak sauce and move on,
dude. What I have to say is that, like, okay, if you're a steak connoisseur, I feel like Amy's on Franklin. Like, if you're a steak connoisseur, that's where you need to go. But also, if you're a steak connoisseur, know this: don't order a fucking steak done. You chode. You're what's wrong with America.
I mean, I'll cook you a well done hamburger if you want, but
that's different.
Do people got money?
That's different. That's different.
Hey, don't turn them off. They want to. If they like well done steaks, they want to come in and get one. Fucking do it. I don't give a fuck.
When I recommend,
fuck it.
Give me the money, dude. Their money's well done steak eaters' money's green. Okay,
$40 is $40, dude.
I will say when I describe Amy's, I describe it as that perfect date night.
It is.
You know, like
it's a good date joint.
It I can see that a lot. But, you know, it's also, I mean, we have cheaper shit, too. We got, you know, $12, $13 sandwiches. They're all from scratch. And
okay, so what's one of your, like, favorite sandwiches that you not maybe,
Bad Randy Burger.
Maybe not even enjoy
named
making?
After yourself?
Yeah, or Jeremiah's Hot Chicken.
Both named after himself.
That's, yeah, I didn't mean to do that, but it happened.
I mean, well, you know, when genius strikes.
Dude, when I watched that video of you eating that chicken sandwich, and like you could just start to see you sweat a little bit, and I was like, man, you know, this is a guy that likes hot stuff.
That was the level 8. So you go up to level 8. That's got like that's the dragon's breath level, but then it's got everything underneath that too. So it's got dragon's breath, ghost pepper, Trinidad scorpion, fucking Carolina Reaper. It's got all of them.
What do you think the hottest item you've ever put in your body is? Because I like hot food as well.
It's fucking some type of hot sauce, dude. But I don't. That's why I don't get down on hot sauce, is because they're so like concentrated.
No, I mean food. Like food. Like
what do you mean? The hottest food I've ever eaten?
Yeah, like a food that you had from like something. Like I was in
hot
Louisiana,
chicken, bro.
This hot chicken is the hottest thing you've ever had. Ever.
Yes.
Fuck. I kind of want to try it now.
It's hot. We don't do it all the time, but it's hot.
What does that look like if I want to order?
It looks like you're signing a waiver first. It's fucking hot, dude.
It looks like we're getting lawyers involved.
It's hot, dude.
No, but like, what does it look like if I want to order it? Like, when do I come in? Looks like we're getting lawyers involved, dude. You're signing a fucking waiver for this.
I do the special runs every now and again, but
oh my god,
there's some shit that I'm working on that I'm going to be announcing probably in the next month or so.
Okay,
and so I'm not doing any of the special stuff before then.
Okay,
big time announcement.
Okay,
you just have to wait till then.
Keep it under the curtain. Is there a time frame on it?
It hinges on a lot of variables.
Do you have a special genre of food you like to cook? Like, not even at Amy's,
I like all kinds of shit. I really enjoy cooking Italian a lot because it's like all in one pan type of thing.
All the noodles and meat mixes together,
all together.
Yeah,
so that's pretty cool.
Then
I enjoy like a lot of Italian American stuff, Italian stuff.
Did you win your
I like
wife
ethnic
over
stuff
by
like
food?
Thai food?
Did you win your wife over by food?
Probably,
because I know you recently
initially
married.
she likes to tell the story that when I still lived in New Harmony, which was years and years ago, it was like, oh yeah, that was our Easter special. That's years and years ago. So we went hunting for morels or whatever,
which is in season right now.
State park, yeah.
Get out and get some morels.
Almost out of season.
By the time this airs, it will be.
I didn't get fucking any time this year, which sucks because last week was like primo time.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
They're capped.
But no, we went hunting for morels. We went back to my apartment at the time, and I remember that I made her. I said, "I'm just gonna make a quick potato leek soup for lunch, real quick."
I'm sorry.
Potato leek soup.
That sounds like an STD.
And she like was like so blown away, and like she still tells that story from time to time. And she's like, people don't just make quick potato leek soups.
You're like, hey man, you got 5 minutes? I just want to throw some shit together real quick.
Man, I made it so many times. We make quick potato leek soups.
As a chef, how judgmental are you of other places?
This is a question I get constantly.
Yeah,
constantly. And you know, I might. It depends. Like a lot of times, I make my judgments, you know, inside, but
There's like never been a time where you're like,
I joke around
Right.
a little bit and be, make some shit. But I take stuff for what it is. I'm from the country. I grew up eating plate lunches and
Right.
shit. Like, I'm
Was
not a monster. You know what I mean?
was there a time where you were like, fuck, I got to meet the cook of this?
No.
Ooh, what's that fucking movie?
One time I was at a steak place, and this is when I stopped asking about the chef. One time I was at a steak place, and my wife Kim took me there for my birthday. I won't say who it was.
Yeah. No, you're good.
We got steak. Everything was overcooked, man. Like, I got a Pittsburgh rare, and it was like almost well done. Pittsburgh rare is like charred on the outside, thick
Right.
steak, charred on the outside, rare in the middle, right? You got to get a cast iron pan super hot. So this was years and years ago. And I, we got Pittsburgh steak. And dude, our fucking vegetables were overcooked. Somehow the mashed potatoes were overcooked. Like, everything was overcooked. And I didn't give a fuck about that. But I said, you send the chef out because I want to talk to chef about where they get their beef and stuff. I was like, at the time, I was like, just like starting to manage and stuff. And I was like trying to put all this shit together where all these places are getting this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it comes out there and he asked me how the food was. And I was like, oh, that's not why I called you out here.
Sorry, bruh.
It was all right, he's like,
bad,
it was overcooked. He was like, yeah. He goes, yeah, I'm the sous chef. Our executive chef died a couple weeks ago.
Jesus. Fuck. Hold on.
I'm just
I
learning
was
the
like,
business,
okay.
bro.
Ever since then, dude, I was like, I'm never asking for the fucking chef
And
again.
this was a Mexican joint?
No, this was at a steak place.
Oh, a steak
Has
place.
there?
So hold on, I have to ask. Hold on, before a lot of people aren't in the culinary world. I'm familiar with the term sous chef, but can you explain what that is?
Yeah, top guy in the kitchen underneath the head chef.
So he's like second in command. He's like
Yeah.
of the kitchen.
Right.
Has there been times with cooks, so like at Amy's on Franklin or whatever, do you see the plate before it goes out and you're like, no, we got to redo this?
Yeah, sometimes,
Tighten it up.
that's what happens with, when you're in the heat of service and you're super busy and stuff, things slip.
And I mean, all the photos I've seen of the food at Amy's is like so well put together and arranged on the plate and
Fucking
such a.
look at
We
this, dude.
try.
That looks like fucking.
He has a miso black cod.
that looks like fucking.
Why's it got to be a black cod?
Yeah, dude. We're
because its scales are black.
no, dude. This looks like Pamela Anderson and fucking Carmen, whatever her name is, scissoring.
Electra.
Scissoring on a fucking plate, dude. Like, this is the most beautiful thing, culinary wise, I've seen probably in a long while. Like, this is like
Pretty good.
It's Gordon Ramsay shit.
I don't know about that.
No, I'm saying like you could display that to Gordon Ramsay, and he would probably still slap you in the face, but he'd also be like, "Hey,
That's
here's the things you did right."
Yeah. Maybe.
How often are you watching like do you watch the Food Channel?
It's
Like, are
fucking
you like
hot.
watching
Not all the time, but I get a kick out of watching that stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, like, okay, so what am I even looking at right here? Is this fish?
It's miso black cod.
That's hot.
Miso marinated black cod.
What's this? Like
watermelon.
female organelle looking.
Those are watermelon radishes.
Fuck, dude.
Never even heard of a watermelon radish.
I
It's a
want
radish that looks like a watermelon.
it. I want it. That's what I know. I want it.
It was good.
Dude,
What do you hope to add to Amy's in the next coming year or so? Like, is there anything that you're working on, like changing or polishing, or do you not want to
There's a
give
lot of
away any
things I'm working
spice?
on.
Or
Yeah, there's a lot of things I'm working on.
is this like your baby?
Let me
project,
just
you
say
think?
that adding to is not something that I'm working on right now.
Just refining.
Let me just say that adding to is not something that I'm working
he
on
pokes
right
and
now.
pries, and I have a very
I'm telling you, it's a big announcement coming.
I have a very serious question since we're talking specifically.
Somehow I doubt that.
No. Specifically speaking of Amy's, and I've been dying. I've been dying to get to this question literally the whole night.
Is it bourbon related? Because nobody's asked me about bourbon. We got to
I need to talk about
Okay. I'll hold my question. Let's talk bourbon real quick. I love bourbon.
Do you guys got one of those smoker domes that you put on
Oh,
the
yeah.
shit and smoke it?
Do you do old fashioned smoked or old fashioned?
both.
Which
We've
do you-
got like 4 different old fashions on the menu. You can
That's
get any of them smoked.
so fucking
No, I'm saying
hot.
like you're ordering it. What do you prefer?
I've actually got my preferred old fashioned on the menu, not smoked. It's kind of like heresy. Most people might say it doesn't actually have an orange in it. It has orange bitters, no cherry.
I like that.
No cherry?
Garnished
I like
with a
that.
lemon. Actually,
I like that. And I don't know about the lemon. I'm not on board for that.
I'm telling you, Dude, it makes sense.
What is the bottle that we're using? What if you had to?
It's Old Overholt.
What is it?
Old Overholt rye whiskey. It's the oldest existing rye whiskey in the United States, dating back to the late 1800s.
That's hot.
So I have to say this: I hate rye whiskey. I have for a long time. I just don't know what it is. I've maybe only ever had bad rye.
Says the guy that bought a bottle of rye whiskey and was like promoting it 3 weeks ago.
Let me make my point. My point is, I hated rye for like all these years that I started getting into whiskey and bourbon, and then I found Whistle Pig.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you at on that? Are you pro Whistle Pig?
I think Whistle Pig's good. I think you're paying for the name. I think it's good. I'm not going to say it's not good.
What do you compare to Whistle Pig? Rye wise,
you have one which Whistle Pig are you talking about? 12-year,
the $400 bottle. It's I think
Boss Hog.
Yeah, it was 18-year.
Oh, the 18-year.
18-year double oak, some fancy name.
It's got a lot going on in that. I mean,
it's so. If you hate rye like I did, because it bites a little harder than bourbon and whiskey does.
Not all rye, but that's the nature of it.
That's the one thing too. Is so working in the food industry, you get to try these high-end liquors like Blue Label Johnny. I'm sure you've got to try that, where it's like,
yeah, we've got that.
These expensive bottles, you get to try them all. What's
tasty.
That like?
Well, the thing is,
fucking dope.
I try not to try the more expensive labels because as soon as you do, your margins are fucked, right?
Right.
What do you mean by that?
Dude, like I had.
I mean,
Blue
like
Label...
there's 16 pours to this bottle, so if I take even just a small sip of it,
you're down.
It's like
to
my
15
margins
and
are going to be fucked, and if I have to sell each one for $40 a fucking pour because of how crazy expensive it is, then we got some problems, sir. You know what I'm saying?
I get you. The Whistle Pig is what turned me on to rye. So now I'm finding expensive ryes, or maybe not even expensive, but like
you should try to find.
I'm dabbling in the rye.
It's hard to find, but it's not expensive. It's Sazerac rye.
Okay,
it's a 6-year.
Where have you found it?
Through the distributor that sells them to me.
But you don't
because we buy the right things from them. So
I go the common people route.
It's out of Buffalo Trace.
I love Buffalo. Yeah, for sure.
It's not harsh. It doesn't have that bite.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the smoother ryes. It's one that I just pour in a glass and drink.
Oh, that's how I roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Literally, ice is not preferred, but like if I'm hot, I'll have it with ice or whatever. Or if it has too much of a sting.
Have you had Michter's?
Mm-mm.
Michter's is more the classic, but it's really, really good.
I gotta get to my question now. I can't hold it back anymore. I've been literally itching to ask this question.
Before you ask your question, I just want to say
okay, so that'll get taken out. We have a Vietnam guy coming on in a couple weeks, and he's just infatuated. He's an author of
the book's actually right next to you.
Yeah, shout out to Frank Bill, dude. If you've made it this far to the episode, Frank Bill he's a New York Times bestseller from Corden, Indiana, if you're familiar.
His dad was in Vietnam. His grandfather was in World War II.
Yeah, he's a sick dude, but he wrote this book. He's a New York Times bestseller. He wrote a book with fucking Norman Reedus. Do you know who that is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he wrote a book with Norman Reedus called The Ravaged. He's just a really swell dude. But in this book, he uses the G word often. But I'll say that to say this. The question I've been dying to ask you, speaking of Amy's, and this is detrimental to the interview, how you answer this question, okay? This interview can go one of two ways. I'm going to be real honest with you. This can go bad for both of us or mostly bad for me. The question is, if you had to fight 100
duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck,
which way are you going?
If I had to fight 100
horse-sized,
no,
duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck.
Horse-sized ducks?
Yeah, but just one horse-sized duck.
But 100 duck-sized horses?
Correct.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Give me the horse-sized duck.
Amen.
The horse-sized duck. That dude can attack you from land, air, and sea. That is the Navy SEAL of God bless you animals.
You got to get one kill, dude.
No.
Those little tiny fucking horses are running everywhere,
You
dude.
jump in the water.
They're fast, dude.
You jump in the water, and they don't fuck with you. Think
I'm
about
with
that.
you on this.
They can
Jeremiah.
swim.
Get in an airplane.
They can swim, dude.
No, they can't. Horses
Yes, they
cannot
can.
swim.
Yes, they can.
The fuck you mean?
Not well. Not as
What do you mean? They cross rivers. They
We
cross
want to hang out in the
lakes?
fucking 10-foot lake forever?
Okay, get in a fucking airplane. You've won the battle
I'm
now.
getting an airplane. What the fuck?
But you get in an airplane versus
I'm with you on this. Brian's
One
autistic.
kill, dude.
Right.
One kill.
And their skin's not very thick.
And then Dude, you imagine how much fucking meat you get from a bird that size, dude? You can cook that motherfucker.
you're
up,
crushing
dude.
it.
I'm saying you run
I'll
into
smoke that bitch whole.
Right,
Dude,
you run into the woods, you sharpen a stick. It's not maneuvering through the woods very well, and you stab that bitch, and it's dead.
It's
Problem
waddling and
solved.
shit. Stay low to the ground. It's
Hear me
going to
out.
have to waddle.
Jeremiah, I respect you very, very much. Think about the meat you get from 100 duck-sized ponies.
I know that I'm going to have to spend hundreds of hours processing those.
No, you're being dramatic.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Also, what's the weirdest animal you've ever eaten? And what's the
This is
weirdest
a good
animal that
question.
you want to eat?
Weirdest animal I've
that
ever
you've
eaten?
ever eaten, and then what's the weirdest animal you want to eat that you've not eaten yet?
What a fuck! I've eaten all kinds of different birds,
Just fucking fish. I don't know. My goldfish.
grasshopper, fucking. I'm pretty sure horse plenty of times. I
Dude,
don't know.
I would love
so
to
you've
try
been-
some horse.
Not on purpose.
So you've been to the Caribbean, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Hey, you can order kangaroo. You think Amy's will ever have kangaroo on the menu?
Alligator, boar. I looked into kangaroo. I didn't get it, but
We're trying to order some, so if you want to go
Get
in
it.
on some kangaroo.
I've had snake, pigeon.
Have you had black bear?
I've had bear. Yeah, I don't know if it was black bear, but I've had bear before.
Greasier than I
Elk.
anticipated.
Obviously sheep.
What's one of the ones that you want to eat though? That you're like, that I want to eat a fucking
Ostrich egg.
fucking pink flamingo or something. I don't know, like off the wall. Like, what's the one animal you've not eaten that like you kind of have wet dreams about? You don't have wet dreams at 34, but like you get it. You know where I'm going with this.
How does he know? Dude, I don't know. I don't think I have one. To be honest
don't?
with you. I'm actually really big into animals.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to offend.
No, and I'm
okay.
I'm a carnivore, but
Me too.
I'm
Kill them all.
I'm not one that's like gonna daydream about it though. You know what I mean? I'm super into barbecues, super into all kinds of stuff, but I don't think I have one.
You don't have one?
No.
What's yours, Thomas? What's one animal that you've not eaten that you want?
Horse.
Horse?
100% horse.
I bet you have eaten it before.
Well, if I have, I would like more.
So they're sneaking it in on you.
Dude, that one Mexican joint up the road up north, I won't say the name, but
Yeah, Aldi's.
Yeah, they got take that out. No. No, they got arrested for, what was it, prostitution, and then they found a horse head in there.
No, you're wrong.
it wasn't a horse head.
If you reference my uncle's episode, Mike
Yes.
Kennedy,
That was the Godfather.
They busted a Mexican restaurant. The bartender had a desert eagle behind the counter, about like an ounce of meth, and then they had a horse skull in the kitchen in the trash can.
Yeah, it's hot, dude. That's what they're getting into. They're fucking slaughtering the horse in-house.
Okay.
It's hot. I actually go out of my way to
You
go
boys
there
are
now.
getting into some shit. I don't want to be involved.
Dude, you came on the Days Grimm. The Days Grimm did not come on you. So where were? No, but I'm excited about. I'm excited about everything that we've kind of talked about tonight, man. I'm really pumped about whatever secrets you may behold.
Big time secrets, baby.
Big time.
What do you think? What do you think moving forward in your professional career? You will, whether it be music or whether it be culinary, what do you think that you're gonna, 2023/2024? What are you striving for to like better yourself? Because we're big on like
Everything, dude.
But like
Always.
one thing that is, there's got to be one thing that you're like, hey man, I've been slouching on this. I'm gonna tighten it up this year.
I mean, it's always productivity can be more.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have a problem. Well, I always try to force creativity, and it never happens, right? You know what I mean? It always comes from like when I'm fucking mowing the lawn, or
What do you
ejaculating.
Do you like?
Yeah, same.
Do you grab your phone real quick, switch off the Pornhub browser, and like type in your notes? Or,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Sometimes
Sometimes
I'll
you
leave
have
myself like weird notes and stuff, and sometimes I'll go back when I'm like, okay, let's flesh this out, and I'll read my notes. And I go, what the fuck? What are you talking about, dude?
Dude, I wrote cum in my notes. What am I?
So what?
I remember that one.
Yeah, me too.
What piece of advice would you give to somebody that wants to get into the culinary arts?
Buckle up, baby.
Just fucking
Wild ride.
But
like serious.
start slow and see if you're into it. To be honest with you, man, it's a wild life. It's not for everybody, but for those of us who are into it, it's life. You know what I mean? So, I wouldn't have it any other way. But at the same time, most people on this planet will be like, this is unnecessary and terrible, and I hate it.
The one thing that we do like to, because again, the Days Grimm likes to focus on positivity, overcoming adversity.
Fuck yeah.
What we're trying to do better next year over this past year, because you can't stay the same. You stay stagnant, you die. That's what happens.
Well, that's what I'm saying when you ask me that question, is try to better everything.
No,
That's
but
my
it was
mindset.
productivity was, no, it's a solid end. But the most important question we care about on this show with every interview that we do is, during your culinary travels, during your musical travels, did you ever have a time where you were like, hey man, like this ideal is not situation, or this situation is not ideal to me, and I'm considering like hanging this up. Like, I don't want to do food anymore. I don't want to do music anymore. And then like it was so dark that it made you think about quitting. Now, you don't have to get into the specifics.
I will. I don't care.
Of the dark moment, but what we care most about is what pulled you through that darkest time where you were like, fuck this. You know what I mean?
Well, in terms of the culinary industry, the whole hospitality industry in general, dude, I've probably had that talk with myself probably 4 times, 5 times. It's like, man, I don't want to fucking do this, man. I'm like, this is really what I'm going to fucking do with my life, you know? It gets really, really difficult sometimes. There are so many variables and so many things that can be stacked against you, especially when you're dealing with people all the fucking time. Sometimes, you know, you go on a tear where people can just be fucking relentless over and over again. And it's not always like that, you know what I mean? But it can be really taxing, dude.
What pulls you out of those moments where you throw the pan across the room and then you go pick it back up and put it on the stove?
Everybody's different. For me, honestly, I think that, and this is way probably switching gears, but I think
That's fine.
the shutdown initially of when the pandemic happened, I think that I'm not alone in this industry of having that mindset. It's like, well, I don't know if I want to do this, but what else am I going to do? Because I can't, unless I go work at a fucking factory or count pills at a pharmacy, I'm not going to make enough money versus what I'm doing now, how far I've gotten into it. So what the fuck am I going to do? I don't have value anywhere else, right? But I think a lot of people were forced to make that happen when their places shut down. So that's why you see the shortage in the industry. Anyway, I have a problem with quitting, meaning
Like most things.
like persevering is like a big thing for me.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know if that's what hardened me up or fucking hardened me up, you know. But
Back to the cum
I
notes.
I don't know if it was, you know, the chicken versus the egg or whatever the fuck type of situation.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm saying which came first. Was it this?
Well, now
or
they
this?
have vegan
But
eggs,
I'm saying,
which makes no sense to me.
dude, I have a problem. As my dad would say, we don't half-ass anything; we whole-ass everything. So, if I'm really into something, I like have to see it through. And doing something like leaving this industry, which I could have done a few times, but it would be like redefining my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still have the music, which is the ultimate definition of my life. Obviously aside from like my family and stuff like that.
Right.
But it's like I put everything I had into this for so fucking long.
Decade
And
plus.
it's, going on 18 years, dude.
Almost 2.
And am I really going to fucking give all this up now? For what?
Right.
Because of what? Like, why? That was the ultimate thing. It's like, why am I doing this? Because I had a bad fucking day or a bad fucking week. You know what I mean? Like, it happens everywhere.
Right.
What's going to make anything else any differently? For me, dude, it's just the want, the will, the need to succeed. Like, I'm on this path. I have an end result in mind, which is coming very soon. And if I don't get there, I have failed my fucking self. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I can't live with myself. I just can't.
There's a good quote out there for all you guys that are thinking that you're in similar shoes, like you may have failed yourself. I heard the other day that there are no failures. Like a person cannot be a failure; they can only fail. And then let's say you fall flat on your fucking face or flat on your ass because you like fuck this thing up that you're working on, that we're not talking about. If you fuck that up or somehow, if something goes sideways on the ice, slides on the ice and you can't control it, that's whatever. You did your best and you failed. But the next time, that's what keeps me going. Like I fail a lot. You're obviously way more successful than I am.
I think it's a Michael Jordan quote that's failure is a key point to success.
100%, man. So, and I have to put the stake in the ground that like you are way more successful than I am.
Well, that's
But
subjective.
I thrive off of failure. So like when this podcast crashes and burns because Thomas says 17 times in one episode, I thrive on that.
I think it was Bukowski, I might be wrong, that said, he said, find what you love and let it kill you.
Who's Bukowski?
Charles Bukowski? The last great American novelist?
I'm illiterate.
Died in like 1995, 1994.
What did he write?
Ham on Rye, Post Office,
Catcher in the Rye?
Pulp. No, it's J.D. Salinger.
I'm not a novelist. I'll be honest.
Charles Bukowski, dude?
I do like to read, though. I like science fiction a lot.
Dude, Charles Bukowski, man.
He's
incredible.
Thomas is a huge quitter, speaking of. He had to walk out and take a leak.
Yeah, he quit the podcast just now.
Yeah, so now it's just the Days.
Yeah.
So welcome to the Days podcast. No, but anyways, man, I find that a lot of folks will come on and say that, you know, the easiest thing that kept them going was just never having the attitude to quit. But it's nice of you to come out and say like, yeah, dude, I've had this conversation with myself multiple fucking times.
So many times, dude.
And I feel like that's like anybody that is a true winner that wants to win or succeed at something, like you have to look yourself in the mirror and be like, man, this fucking sucks, cock.
I mean,
like,
there's nothing wrong with having the conversation with yourself. You know what I mean? It's not like you made a life decision or anything like that. You're just having a inner monologue with yourself.
She's
right?
back, by the way.
Yeah.
No, man, but I can't thank you. I can't thank you enough, man. Like like I said, when the first thing I said to you when you walked up my driveway was, "You're harder to get a hold of than a wet damn weasel."
And for the record, I'm not hard to get a hold of. I'm hard to fucking
schedule.
Let's do this with
Lockdown.
Well, you know, our schedules were opposite for a while.
How long have we been trying to get a hold of you? Like 3 months now, I think, or longer.
I wouldn't say
like a
that,
year.
but it's
I wanted you.
I've wanted you for so long.
For so long, Padre.
Yeah.
Padre, te
And here we
quiero.
are. It's all happening.
More.
but like we had to get you in, you know what I mean? And then like Brian was like, I don't give a fuck what day it is.
Yeah, make it happen.
Yeah. And
Well, I appreciate you guys having me, man.
Here we are on a fucking, what is today? Monday? Tuesday?
On a Wednesday.
I gotta stop. No, oh, that's the fucking dude. You're fucking. What's the town? Jesus Christ! Your New Harmony is showing. I couldn't remember.
I don't think they say that in New Harmony.
Wednesday, Monday. Yeah, they do. Fuck yeah, they do. They
My
say
grandma used to say that.
they
She's
say
from Evansville.
They say
so.
it the most. Yeah, people from
I
here
don't
do
know
it too.
about that.
No, but you could have been doing anything for like 2 hours. We've been going over an hour strong now, so we'll tie it up here. But I want to emphasize enough. I can't emphasize enough. Like you could have done anything for 2 hours tonight on a Wednesday night, but you came in and hung out with the Days Grimm.
You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me.
Right.
You hear it, kid?
But last minute shout outs, man. Who got you to where you're at and who's getting you to where you're going?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, man. Where are we at on that? And then,
Man, I've had a lot of help with everything along the way, you know. Shout out to my wife, Kimmy. She's my sweetness. My little puppy dogs at home.
she's your stevia.
Those little fuckheads.
Aren't dogs funny? Like you love them and you hate them all at the same time.
No, I don't hate them. I love them. They're little fuckers. They're my favorites. No, man, I've had a lot of help. Dudes in my band. They're not helping me get to where I am. You know, we're obviously doing that together, but you know, we've had a lot of help from a lot of people in that regard. I've had a lot of help from a lot of people in my culinary career, and I try to help people whenever I can and hand that out also. So
when somebody asks you if they can talk to the chef at Amy's, is that like a good thing for you, or is it like, fuck, I got to go downstairs, I'm going to be behind on the next 5 orders?
If I'm being honest, initially it's like, oh, fuck. All right. I'm always like, who is it? Do I know him?
Is it fucking David?
Do I need to prepare myself for a fucking like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in 10 years? Or is it like, hey, my boy, you know what I mean? Like, who are we talking about?
Is
here?
it well done, David again? Tell him to suck my cock.
No, it happens. I do, at the restaurant, I appreciate it. It comes with the territory, and I appreciate everybody that comes in and spend some dough with us. So
100%.
I do what Larry David taught me is to stop and chat, and then
what upcoming event? Do you have any upcoming event as we're closing out today? Real quick, I got to do.
God bless you.
Thank you. As we're closing out today, do you have any upcoming events you want to put out into the ether to all the folks on YouTube, the folks on Spotify, Pandora?
No, we got a big Mother's Day brunch coming up at Amy's on Franklin.
What's the date on that?
Fuck, I don't know. Mother's Day.
Shit, yeah, dude. I think Mother's Day was like 2 months ago.
No, I think it's 2 weeks from Sunday.
Isn't that Father's Day?
That's in June, dog.
Dude, I'm also
May 14th.
Did I say I'm illiterate? Because I am. Yeah, there it is. Thank you, Drew. God bless you.
I don't think illiteracy has anything to do with remembering Mother's Day in the months of the year, but that's all
What
right.
is it? Thomas, you always... yeah, that's what I have. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm slow.
Word.
I grew up in Posey County,
Word.
dude. I grew up in Posey County.
I know the
said
feeling.
that.
I know the feeling. Say no more.
No, but upcoming events, man. Anything you want to close out on?
I wish I could, man, but actually culinary side and band side, I got a lot of stuff in the works. Nothing ready to announce yet. Just be on the lookout because it's
coming.
We talking this
big,
summer?
Big stuff.
Talking winter?
It's
What are we
Summer
talking?
stuff for the Amy's on Franklin shit. Summer stuff, yeah, maybe
Winter
a month
stuff,
or
band
so.
stuff?
Maybe a month or so. Band stuff to be determined. Hopefully this fall.
TBD,
We'll see.
dude. You guys heard it here on the Days Grimm,
We'll
dude. Jeremiah, dude, you're a fucking stud. I gotta say, you look like an athlete. I'm surprised you're not a fucking athlete right now.
I was in the league.
Yeah, dude. I played 3 years.
I was not. I blew up my shoulder.
I would have signed up, but my dad said no. You know, those people.
I threw the heat a little too fast. Cut me from the team, dude.
Eaters, the cheese, dude. No, but just seriously, man, you could have been doing anything for 2 hours on a Wednesday night, and I appreciate you coming into the Days Grimm, stopping by my residential area, and having a conversation with us.
Appreciate it.
This has been another fucking thrilling. I don't think we talked about anal one time. I'm a little upset about that, but this has been another thrilling episode of the
We
Days
could have
Grimm.
been talking about anal
the whole time.
Oh my god!
My name is
I have
Brian
so
Michael
much
Day.
to say about
My
it.
name is Thomas Grimm III.
And this has been Jeremiah Galey. Thank you. I've never said your last name.